what is intense inquiry, uninterrupted inquiry?
This is Jnana Vahini. Bhagavan said that, Jnana Vahini. All right, anybody wants to comment that? Why did Swami say, why is the need for intense inquiry and then uninterrupted inquiry? Anyone wants to suggest, ask, answer? Brother Sabitan, would you like to answer?
In my experience, intense inquiry meaning that every moment to moment, the experience that we are having is an opportunity for us to intensely inquire and test the reality. So every experience, even the experience which provides happiness to the mind, and then the experiences which, on the other hand, brings about sadness and anxiety. And at every moment when it's happening, with all experiences, even when there are no such experiences, and when you recall this one, you should always inquire, who am I? Am I the one experiencing this? And then from there, going into the body and understanding that the body is made out of sensations, and what is the connection between the body and also the mind. Sometimes it is the body-mind complex, or the body-mind complex whereby certain thoughts invoke certain sensations, and when these sensations are invoked, then naturally there's a prolonging of that thought itself in awareness. So when this happens, it gives an illusion as if you are experiencing time itself, whereas it is actually only thought which is creating time. Similarly, if you give full attention to every moment-to-moment experience, you will realize that you are not the body, and the mind and the body are naturally working with each other. You are witnessing everything from moment to moment. Sometimes it is natural that we get tangled up in this whole thing, especially when we are in conversations with people, when we are presenting something, when we are, going through a difficulty or anything like that. We usually get entangled in this illusion. But the moment you are able to step out a bit from it and then have a different perspective, then the inquiry would be even more fruitful. This is just based on my experience. For this, to be able to do this, one should maintain at least their own personal sadhana, as in you meditate, or you do namasmarana, or do japam or something, so that your mind is always, you work on the dharana aspect of the 8 limbs of Patanjali Yoga. You work on the dharana and focus on the concentration. Every time your attention runs away, you bring back the attention. It runs away again, you bring back the attention. It runs away 100 times, you bring back. 1,000 times, it runs 1,000 times, you bring back. So when you keep on doing it, at one point, somewhere down the line, you will realize that you're able to do it more smoothly, and naturally itself, it happens. So when that happens, your witnessing becomes more fluid, and your inquiry becomes more fruitful. And every time you are able to reflect back and ask yourself, who is experiencing this at the moment? Who is actually hurt? Am I hurt, or is the ego hurt? So when you ask questions like that, then the separation becomes even more and more and more and more. The distance becomes more between you as a witness and whatever is happening around you. So this is my insight, Anand.
Thanks, Savitan. Thank you. That's one perspective, very nice perspective. Anybody else want to add on, or is that clear?
To reach a goal, liberation, you need these 2 qualities. Without this, you cannot.
Yeah.
Because samsara, sagara, you need these qualities. Without this, there's no point.
Oh.
Just coming and going is not everything. Swami says, concentrate on my teachings, then my form.
Yeah.
It is permanent. We have to concentrate.
Yeah.
So for that, this quality is very important.
Important.
Tyra.
Saina. You know, when we are looking at certain things, like in our science research field, when I tell a student, okay, I want the results in 3 weeks. When I want the results in 3 weeks, you know, you will not believe the amount of results that I can get in 3 weeks compared to supposing I say I want it in 3 hours. The intensity of that inquisitiveness and the passion that they devote in the 3 hours is far better. Your results are so consolidated in that 3 hours compared to 3 weeks, you know. So intensity always brings a lot, because even when questioning, I myself have done this. If I read a little bit of Jnana Vahini, I keep the book there, and then I read 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later. Then only I realize there is something else that is happening now. If you're reading, you have an inquisitive mind. Hey, why is this happening like that? Then you connect to another point. Then you read. So there is so much of intense passion. Your consciousness itself is driving you to unravel the various layers of ignorance, and then you find new insights into that. It's like a key. It's like a password when you have intensity. If you are not having intensity and it is just done at a leisure, the answer or the connecting the dots in the lines in the scriptural line will become too weak and too vague to make any sense. That's why we take long time to realize a lot of things, because there's no intensity. Uninterrupted inquiry is the illusory world does not want you to inquire. So the Maya will become exceedingly enticing and exceedingly loud in order for the distractions to take place, so that your concentration is disturbed. This is the programming of illusion. Maya must program you to be distracted. To fight that distraction, and whatever happens, we are not interested in those distractions. You have single mind pointed concentration like a laser going through the various layers, reveal to us some new information and knowledge. I realized that in dramatic language, the secrets of highest soul information is all concealed. It's all layered and concealed in illusion. And our senses are always betraying us, because it is listening to the siren pull of the sense objects. So for us to have the discipline of these two, will penetrate the layers and layers and layers, and press the number code in which the treasure chest is open, so that this whole knowledge comes out to illuminate us. Without these two, we find that nothing will be so concrete or serious. That's why Baba said in Jnana Vahini, this is a too important quality of a spiritual sadhaka. And just to tell you also, dear brothers and sisters, on the same subject, today we finished the 72 chapters of Prema Vahini for the American devotees, who we have been doing it for the last 3 years. So the last 3 years, continuously, every month we have one chapter. We finished 72 chapters, and today was the final. So July 24th, we're having this very huge, big celebration in USA. They're having that, but we're having online. They purposely have it on Friday evening, so that those others can be on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. The idea is that they are going to have a national Prema Vahini kind of a thing, very big, quite a big, where the panel speakers are the people who have been participating for the last 3 years. And these are people who have inherited or who have gained some wisdom, and how their life has transformed in this last 3 years. So there's a lot of intense workshops that are being done right from now to then, in which they will document the personal transformation, and then they will highlight. We will definitely send the flyers around. I really think you all should, those of you who are here, should try and plug in on Saturday morning on the 25th. Theirs is 24th, we will be 25th, and listen to these transformational experiences, as well as other insights that they have gained through this Prema Vahini. After this, they are starting on a new book, Gita Vahini, the next round from August onwards. So it has been a very, so it has to see the intensity, you know, the very intense follow-up, continuous inquiry. And today they have completed that book. Earlier, when they asked me for the first month, when they asked me to coordinate, they said that can you help us to do chapter 1 to chapter 10? I didn't say anything. I just kept quiet. Then when the 1.5 hours finished, we only covered half a paragraph of the first chapter. Then only they realized that, that it is a deep book and we need to explore many, many layers in it. So it was a very exciting thing. And I think that is what we need to do. And this is exactly what we are also doing to ourselves. Each one explore, each one layer. Suddenly, sometimes some information will just click and we'll begin to realize many things.